Hey everybody, welcome to week 23 of Intention Tuesday. You're from Oakland, California. Um, this week's intention is really near and dear to my heart, and since we published it, it's been a little bit controversial. So I'm going to explain what we meant by it, and I hope that this helps. So, first of all, everybody, welcome to Intention Tuesday. It's the best part of my Tuesday. Tuesday evenings as we make time and space for ourselves to just end the day with some lovely time in the collective and sacred space where we can all stretch ourselves out and work not only on our personal healing, but consider the healing that we do for everybody. And like we always say, when we practice a healing for one is a healing for all. Well, the intention today is kind of like it's a it's a breath practice. So, we always talk about holding our, focusing on our breath as we breathe in and we breathe out. And the um, the um, the practice here comes from Dr. Joseph Parent, and he's basically a Buddhist guy, and the idea is breathing in. I breathe in with awareness, and with my out breath, I'm breathing out transformation. So awareness in, transformation out, and that awareness in is generally things that we feel are disharmonies or misalignments. And we're using our divine connection and our breath practice to transform the disharmonies and the misalignments that we may feel while we're practicing. So imagine, if you will, that in your heart space, front and back, there's a crystal, giant crystal, and that crystal is connected to the divine. That crystal is operated by the divine. That is your connection to the divine that transcends all things. So, and that crystal has the ability to transform anything that you pass through it to um, to peace, to love, to harmony, or in this case, the visual, which is one of my favorites, is the cool moonlight of peace. So I use this a lot when I'm in tense situations at work, or I'm in tense situations around other people, or I have sadness or anger or resentment or any vibration that's out of harmony. And I'm going to breathe in my anger, breathe in the awareness of my anger, and I'm going to breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. And as I do that with whatever suffering I might have, with whatever disharmony I might have, I can make the situation not only better for me, but better for the people around me. And with intention in a group like this, we can make it better for the world. So the idea is not that you're taking on whatever suffering or disharmony. You're not like using your physical body to make these changes. You are not sucking in anything. You are using your awareness to breathe in to breathe in your awareness of a situation, and to breathe out the cool moonlight of peace, thereby transforming whatever the disharmony is. So I'm going to read the intention. This week we look to Dr. Joseph Parent, renowned expert in performance psychology, to help us transform all forms of suffering/disharmony. My every conscious breath is a vehicle for peace, recognizing and transforming disharmony. Disharmony can take many forms: anger, resentment, hatred, fear, injustice, impatience, grief. But basically, it's anything that lowers our vibration, knocks us out of alignment, and can often even be choking. When you get that choking rage. Imagine in your heart area there's a pure, clear crystal. It can be any shape you want, and that crystal is your connection to the divine. When you're in situations where you encounter negative emotions or disharmony, expand the field around that crystal in your heart space, in your center of your chakras, in the center of your Merkaba. It doesn't have to be right in your heart, it's in the center of your field. As big as your chest, front and back, or as big as you need it to be. It can be as big as your house. Breathe in the disharmony and breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. Use your breath to create the cool moonlight of peace. That is what we are sending back through that heart space into the universe. With this intention, you can change your vibration and the vibration of the situation, not just for yourself, but for others. When we experience negativity slash suffering slash disharmony, we can transform it. We can make that change for ourselves and our others. And it is that divine in us, that connection to the divine, that enables the transformation. Okay. Intention 23, the mantra. I breathe in disharmony, whatever word you want to use. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. My every conscious breath is a vehicle for peace for myself and others. And this is something that's been helping me for a long time. So like the stress, I breathe in the stress of the situation. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. I wish that peace for myself and for others. And we'll keep going back to peace again and again and again. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. My every conscious breath is a vehicle for peace for myself and others. In breath is awareness. Out breath is transformation. So I invite you now to get in a safe space. Have your hands be as they are. We're here in sacred space. Nothing is going to take over you. You're not going to suck in the suffering of anybody. What we're doing is we're using our connection to the divine to invoke conscious transformation, and we can make a change doing this and do no harm to ourselves. How can we do harm to ourselves connected to the divine in a meditation or prayer such as this? It's a beautiful practice of consciousness, awareness, and transformation. So I invite you to make your body like the mountain, solid, grounded, peaceful. Your breath like the wind, easy. Sometimes the wind is crazy, sometimes the wind is barely a breeze, but your breath like the wind, and your mind like the sky. And thoughts will come across your mind. You might get distracted by something while we're meditating, but those are just your thoughts. They'll pass by. Body like the mountain, breath like the wind, mind like the sky. And this is a conscious breath meditation. Breathing in awareness, breathing out the cool moonlight of peace. You'll hear music. There'll be a talk every couple of minutes. I'll bring you back to the meditation. I'll hold the space, the sacred space, and let you know when it's time to come back. And I invite you to go within that quiet place where we connect to our higher self, in that center of stillness where knowledge and peace and healing reside. That's the space where we're making it. That's the space of our crystal. It's the space of our divinity. Soften your focus, let go your thoughts, deepen your breath, and repeat today's intention. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. My every conscious breath is a vehicle of peace for myself and others. I breathe in disharmony or whatever you're feeling around you. I breathe in anger. I breathe in my fear. I acknowledge my fear. And as I acknowledge these things, I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. My every conscious breath is a vehicle for peace for myself and for others. If you get distracted, come back to the attention. And here we go. If I can make the music work. In breath is the awareness. Out breath is the transformation. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. We are amazing agents of transformation, amazing agents of peace and love. And this practice just gives you a way to breathe through it. And it's especially effective when you're really struggling with emotions or situations around you. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. My every conscious breath is a vehicle for peace. And just start with your own issues. I acknowledge my fear of the virus. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. I acknowledge my fear of possibly losing my job. But I transform that into the cool moonlight of peace. And in the beginning, just work on your own issues. We are connected to a love and a consciousness so much greater than we are. With this practice, in-breath awareness, out-breath transformation, we are acknowledging and igniting a conscious vision of what that transformation looks like. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. I had a really bad meeting a couple of days ago where I lost it in the meeting, and I just sat there quietly for 5 minutes in the meeting, and I carefully focused on just acknowledging my suffering, which at the time was my absolute rage. And it was, I see my rage, I acknowledge my rage, and I breathe out, I transform it into the cool moonlight of peace for myself and for all in this meeting. Just that simple, just to calm down the situation, and it did. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace, invoking our connection to the divine. In-breath awareness, out-breath transformation. Our conscious breath is a vehicle for peace for ourselves. And if we're generous, feeling generous, and we're feeling able enough, our conscious breath can be a vehicle for peace for others. I breathe in fear. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. You can make your heart space, you can make that crystal as large in whatever shape that you like. In breath awareness, out breath transformation. And as that moon waxes fuller, more full, almost there, 4 more minutes, a cool moonlight of peace. You can go outside and touch it. I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace. And you can add, I breathe in disharmony. I breathe out the cool moonlight of peace for myself and for others. And as we wind down, we thank you for trying this with us, really focusing on that in-breath and out-breath and how transformative it can be. You can find your feet again, find your hands, come back into your body. As you get more advanced in this, if you stay with it, you can extend this to situations. You know, I I focus on healthcare workers and their fear, and I wish them the cool moonlight of peace with my out breath. Or you can work on the fires, you can work on world issues, or you can just work on, you know, I I focus on my impatience with my family, and I wish myself the cool moonlight of peace and the cool moonlight of peace for my family. You can change situations, you can change yourself. So thank you for doing this with us today. You know, we're going to come back to peace again and again and again. And I wish you guys ease and grace all week long. Thank you for being with us tonight. Go outside before you go to bed. I haven't checked. I hope the smoke isn't too much. I haven't checked yet because the moon's barely up where I live, and I hope it's gorgeous. So, with ease and grace for all, keep your practices up, keep your vibration high. We all have amazing powers. So, we will see you next week for week 24. Keep laughing. It's important. Good night.